Dan and Laura Dotson are leading very successful and fulfilling lives after filming Storage Wars Season 16. Dan, a 62-year-old California native, and his 57-year-old wife, Laura, are best known for their roles as auctioneers on the reality TV show. However, their paths to where they are today have been very different. Dan was raised in a family of auctioneers, starting work at a young age and learning from his grandfather. In contrast, Laura had a more typical upbringing. Before entering the auction world, she worked in sales and marketing. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching for more details. Dan and Laura met nearly a decade after Dan established his business, American Auctioneers, in the 1980s. They started working together, and their relationship eventually evolved into a romantic one. Ultimately, they tied the knot and became husband and wife. They also had a son named Garrett, in addition to raising Dan's two sons from his previous marriage. Dan and Laura debuted in Storage Wars Season 1 and quickly became the iconic figures of the show, recognized for their energetic auctioneering skills and playful banter. They have been involved in some of the most memorable moments on Storage Wars. Dan and Laura just said filming the show saved their marriage. They faced one of their biggest challenges in 2014 when Dan suffered a double brain aneurysm. Dan's health issues prompted Laura to take the lead and manage their roles as auctioneers on the show. Fortunately, the two didn't break up because of the problems. Instead, filming the show and being close to each other helped strengthen their relationship. In June 2025, Dan and Laura admitted that Storage Wars helped save their marriage. They discussed their past in detail, revealing how being on the show had improved their relationship. Dan and Laura discussed their feelings in an interview with TV Insider. Dan said, "Storage Wars saved our marriage," admitting the show played a significant role in protecting their relationship. Laura added, "Hallelujah. We're best friends. We like working together." Dan and Laura explained that they used to drive 200 miles each day to various locations before appearing on the show. The demanding travel schedule and work stress prevented them from spending quality time together, which had a negative impact on their relationship. Thankfully, filming Storage Wars gave them a reason to work together daily, ultimately saving their marriage. Dan and Laura have children. Dan and Laura have formed a blended family. Dan was married before meeting Laura and had two sons from that marriage. He raised the children on his own until Laura came into their lives and took on the role of a loving stepmother. Dan and Laura also have a biological son, Garrett, whom they raised alongside Dan's other two sons. Garrett underwent emergency surgery for a fractured spine resulting from a drive-by shooting in 2020. Fortunately, the doctors were able to save him. Dan and Laura expressed gratitude to God for sparing their son. Dan and Laura are still running their business. Dan and Laura's company, American Auctioneers, is still operational. Their website shows a full calendar of upcoming auctions, reflecting the high volume of work they have. Dan and Laura are likely to continue reaching new milestones and making TV appearances. As the two are the most recognizable faces on Storage Wars, fans can expect to see them in future seasons. It'll be interesting to see when Dan and Laura decide to retire from the show. The Storage Wars couple has mentioned that their son, Garrett, is the future of the business and will take over once they step down.